you are.
I didn't know Fred as long as Mike, and I can hardly add anything more beautiful than the things that Michael has said about Fred. You know, we had several shows together in China. We traveled at least 3 times during that period in China. The very first time in Beijing, he was with his wife, Stephanie, a very devoted relationship, you know, and it was a very poignant and sad in some ways that Stephanie was starting to lose some of her memory, and yet at the same time, Fred was completely compassionate and kept pace with the two of them was something else. The very last show, this really passionate and proud man, I don't think he was willing ever to let himself show any type of weakness whatsoever. You know, even in the last show in Hangzhou, Fred was mainly relegated to a wheelchair for any of our trips. And we were taken to the Confucius Cemetery, to the Confucius home, to Confucius Mountain. And Fred, not really dressed for the weather of the mountain, allowed himself to be wheeled up, you know, the long drive and so on, and waited for the rest of us as we climbed the stairs and got back down and so on. The idea of the vodka martini, Michael, reminds me of one evening we were having a drink in the bar in a Beijing hotel. And there was a young woman from New Zealand who was acting as the bartender. And she started to put Fred's drink together, and he was absolutely adamant that she was doing it all wrong. You know, so he immediately went behind the bar and proceeded to give her a tutorial on how to prepare a proper vodka martini. I'm never going to forget this guy. You know, he spoke truth always. You know, there was one point when he spoke passionately about how much he cared for Jeremy Morgan's artwork, his paintings, and for Ming's. And then he said, if mine, well, I don't really get his. And, but, well, that was okay, you know, because that was Fred. And he never missed an opportunity in any of his public speeches, whenever it was appropriate, to basically tell the history of the Art Institute in San Francisco. And he loved that school. It was clear to me, as someone who has loved mine over 40 years, that Fred must have been very disappointed in the end to see the school close. I think we all are, but he's just a great fellow, wonderful painter, artist, and a tough cookie, you know, and I can't really add anything more to that than what Michael and others have already said. So thank you.